from giving one patient a harsh reality check
Poor progress means you miss one hamburger each month. You think that's funny?
to making it crystal clear to another that the scale doesn't lie.
If you expect that I believe that you over the scale, you're right. Because the scale doesn't lie.
Here are 60 minutes of Dr. Now shutting down more disrespectful My 600-Pound Life patients. Starting with Ashley Taylor, who came onto the show at 486 pounds. She appeared in Season 8, Episode 15, and unlike other patients, she already carried some notoriety with her. Years before, she'd been featured on the MTV show Catfish, where her lies and manipulation were put on full display.
We figured out that a lot of the profiles that Red has been talking to for the past 6 years are fake. We're assuming you're behind most or all of them. Okay, so Shekinah, Tamar.
Me.
Right, I just want to make sure I know all of them. How many, because are there some that we don't even know about?
Well, yeah. And are you doing this to anybody else? Of course. Oh my God.
So when she appeared on My 600-Pound Life, many viewers were curious to see if she would take things seriously or if her past behavior would follow her into Dr. Now's office.
Loneliness made me deteriorate. So that's when I started my second addiction, catfishing people a lot.
And it did not take long for her true colors to show.
Don't try me like that. I will trample your little ass. Come to this appointment. I've been at work all. I got too much going on. And he's not gonna talk to me like that.
Ashley's weight was the direct result of her food addiction. For years, she leaned on food as a shield against her problems, but that shield eventually became a prison. Now at nearly 500 pounds, simple tasks were slipping out of her control. Even taking care of herself had become a struggle.
So I'm getting to a really bad place to where my size is affecting my life at this point. But I know the problem behind that is my eating. That's why I'm like this. But it's something I've never been able to control in my life because food is my go-to drug.
These realities finally pushed her to seek help from Dr. Now. At first, she spoke with some nervousness, and having lost over 150 pounds before ever seeing the doctor, she was determined to prove to him that she could do the program.
So I feel like I'm already off to a very good start, and I'm hoping that's a factor Dr. Now will consider for me and maybe improve me for weight loss surgery today.
But the cracks in her attitude really began to show when she found out that she didn't hit the goal initially set by Dr. Now.
475.
I'm not sure about that, but that number is very upsetting. And this is not making sense to me because I know the level of my work.
Ironically, even after seeing how badly she did, Ashley still believed she was really working hard. So whatever she saw on the scale had to be wrong, and Dr. Now had no right to be upset at her lack of progress.
So if I'm not gonna get an approval today, then the least he can do is respect how hard I'm working.
However, what she expected did not happen, as the mood shifted as soon as Dr. Now questioned her for losing only 2 pounds, which was far from the goal he had initially set for her.
But I'm concerned about a few things. One is your lack of weight loss because you are 475 today,
Yes, sir.
which is pretty much no progress. That means you're still eating between 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. So what do you think the changes are that you have made?
On the spot, Ashley tried to come up with different stories and excuses, hoping Dr. Now would accept, but he had too much experience for this to sway him.
I've been doing the diet like you told me. I've really been I cut off all the soda, no more soda. They got rid of everything for me.
But you haven't lost much weight, so she made all these positive changes. Why is that?
I don't know, I've been doing what I should. I've been having problems with my mom also. I've been having family problems too.
Her responses began to upset Dr. Now, who wasted no time in shutting her down.
So what does this have to do with not losing weight?
Because I'm her only child, I gotta be there for my mom.
I'm still not understanding what that means. You couldn't eat healthy and do what you needed if you had to be with her. Because taking care of her doesn't mean that you have to overeat, right?
Nobody overate nothing.
So you want to discuss that with the scale?
It doesn't matter to me. I know what I did.
But the real problem came when Dr. Now suggested he run tests on her, but Ashley treated it like a threat to her life.
So we wanted to get some lab work from you, but you refused. So we don't know what your lab work is. We tried to get your lab work
I'm gonna go to the doctor tomorrow and let my people draw my blood because I know my veins. And the lady that I go to get my blood drawn, she always finds it. So I'd rather just have her do it, and I can just have them send y'all the stuff. I'm gonna go to them tomorrow when I get up.
Her attitude had now crossed the line as she displayed pure disrespect, but Dr. Now wasn't having it. He was taken aback by her unreasonable stance and made sure to knock her down a peg by showing her exactly how ridiculous her behavior was.
So let me understand that. You don't understand, you don't trust us to do your blood test, but you trust us to do weight loss surgery on you?
No, it's not like that.
Can you explain that to me?
No, it's not like that, Dr. Now. I trust y'all. If I wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you.
Well, but not enough to do your blood, but you want us to do weight loss surgery on you. I don't get
I
that.
don't trust you, Dr. Now.
Ashley continued her delusion even when Dr. Now had shown her that she wasn't making any sense.
It's just, once again, I'd rather have my lady draw my blood because she knows my veins and I'm comfortable with her. If we being honest, I'm comfortable with her. No offense.
Ashley's attitude only became worse, leading to a back and forth, ending with Dr. Now finally giving her the hard truth.
I'm not gonna have some stranger draw my blood. I told you that I was gonna have my lady draw my blood and I was gonna send it over here. If you're not comfortable with that, I don't know what to tell you.
And don't people that are over 1,000 pounds we draw blood?
Okay, that's fine. But
And all those people.
If I'm comfortable, see, now I'm getting mad. So now I'm gonna have to just talk to you like I talk to them.
Oh, God. Ashley, you have to trust us to treat you if you want to do this. And we don't know what issues you may have if you don't. But if you're not comfortable with that, how do you expect this to work?
Dr. Now stood his ground and kept explaining why her blood had to be taken, even though the truth didn't seem to register with Ashley.
Because we have to give you an IV for surgery. That's the same thing. And we can't have your person here for that. So this is a significant issue. You haven't lost any weight. And you want us to do a magic for you?
At that point, even her friends tried to step in, sensing how bad the confrontation was about to get.
Ashley, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, God, I can't. This is going all wrong.
So if you stick with the diet and you eat low calorie, you should lose more weight. Is that hard to understand?
Think about that really hard before you say that.
Oh, my God. I need a minute because this is going all wrong. And I'm trying to be respectful.
However, Dr. Now remained unfazed. Patient or not, Ashley was not about to bend the rules of the doctor's program. He kept hammering home the unfiltered reality of her situation.
Ashley, what this comes down to is simple. If you won't do the things you need to lose weight, how do you think weight loss surgery is going to make you lose weight?
I know it's going to help me lose weight because at the end of the day, I know what I want for myself.
No, that's not the question. How do you think weight loss surgery is going to help you?
It'll help me in so many ways. It'll help me to get more healthier. It'll help me with, losing the weight.
Okay, with helping losing weight, how is it going to help you lose weight? That's what the question is. How? The question is how.
Viewers were not pleased with Ashley's attitude, with one saying, "She catfished everyone, but she can't catfish Dr. Now. She deserved every single call out from Dr. Now." Another viewer also said, "She's not used to people calling her on her BS. She's been a bully her whole life. But you don't walk into Dr. Now's office and tell him what he's gonna do. That's his playground." And when Ashley saw the argument slipping out of her control, instead of taking accountability, she resorted to making a scene.
He's not finna talk to me like I'm crazy. I've been on the road all day to come to this appointment, and you're not finna disrespect me. I've been nothing but nice to your ass. You're not finna do me like that. Y'all ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's move.
And while Ashley's stubbornness was shocking, it wasn't the first time Dr. Now had dealt with a patient whose excuses ran deeper than their commitment. In fact, one of the most infamous examples came from Lisa Fleming. Lisa appeared in Season 6, Episode 7, weighing over 700 pounds, bedridden, and was completely dependent on others for even the simplest tasks. But what stood out most wasn't just her weight, it was her attitude. From the very beginning, Lisa carried herself with stubbornness. She wanted Dr. Now's help, but only on her terms, and wasn't making any progress, mainly because she was manipulating everyone around her into helping her disregard her diet.
But
no bad foods with that.
Put it back.
All I want is this to be not in the house.
With the help of her boyfriend, she cheated the system multiple times, and it was only a matter of time before she was caught red-handed by Dr. Now.
Now, who's eating that?
No, I've been eating
He was eating them because
How did they end up in your bed then?
He was laying right there because I was crying
I was
this
just eating while
morning.
ago.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight.
Her constant health setbacks and her excuses all pointed to one thing: Lisa wasn't following the program. Her lies couldn't cover the truth anymore, and in that moment, Dr. Now called her out directly.
Herbert is sneaking in junk food for you. And you two keep lying about it.
No.
How can we get through to you both that your time is up? You're going to die very soon. But both of you don't seem to get that, no matter what we do or say.
As expected, her behavior was infuriating to the viewers who saw right through her lies and commented, "She thought the doctor was stupid. She was wrong." Even with those warnings, Lisa didn't change. She continued her manipulation, sneaked in food, and cheated the very program meant to save her life. Eventually, her reckless choices caught up with her, and she wound up in the hospital in crisis, a situation that could have been avoided if she had simply stuck to the diet. Dr. Now began asking about her progress, and his questions were only met with more baseless excuses.
How you been getting along at home? No?
I've been sitting up on the side of the bed. Buy groceries. I can only buy limited stuff on groceries. I need those other things.
Wait a minute. You can buy limited stuff on grocery, you'll be able to lose more weight. You should have been able to lose 100 pounds. But you look like you haven't lost any weight. In fact, you look like you're back to over 700 pounds again. And your body is likely worse than ever.
I need help. I've been trying to say that for the longest. I need help. I get nothing. I get no help.
What do you mean no help? We have given you everything, Lisa. You're down here. We gave you all the help and the tool you need to lose weight. And you wasted half a year. This is unacceptable. You're not able to get up, you're not walking, and you're eating the same thing. You're not losing any weight. We give you time to change your eating habit, and what miracle are you expecting to happen?
When Dr. Now confronted her, Lisa didn't take it as constructive criticism. Instead, she lashed out and grew more combative, trying to flip the blame to everything but herself.
I will eat. I'm so stressed out. And I hate being in the bed. I want to get up.
Okay.
I need help.
Right.
Nobody helps me. It's just him.
Okay, just hold on. You know that the only way to get out of that is eat less. And you eat more because you're stressed?
Yes.
Which part of it doesn't make any sense?
I just don't have no willpower anymore.
Okay.
It's gone.
Right.
It's gone.
For Dr. Now, though, the excuses were all too familiar. He had seen this exact behavior in countless patients before, and Lisa was sliding into that same destructive pattern. And Dr. Now was running out of patience.
And there is no way around it, because when you go home and you don't need property and come here and give me the same story. How much of that story you think I've got to believe every time you tell me? You are not willing to lose any weight. You're not willing to change your...
The harder he pressed, the louder Lisa's protests grew. She fought him at every turn, refusing to admit what was obvious to everyone watching. She wasn't following the program, and she wasn't being honest.
Don't have no willpower anymore.
Okay.
It's gone.
Right.
It's gone. And if that's all this is, I'd rather you just send me back to my house and leave me
you need?
I'm trying, but this is not helping me. It's not helping. I don't know what else to do with myself, so I eat. I can't help it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just rather you just send me back to Alabama and just leave it alone because it's not working.
You're absolutely right about that. Because the help is with you, and we give you all the tools you need to lose weight.
And it's still not helping me. I can't control myself. I don't know what to do anymore.
Stop talking like that.
And I feel like nobody else cares about me.
For Dr. Now, patience only stretches so far. Lisa's endless games forced him to deliver the kind of blow no patient ever wants to hear.
All right, do you get up and go to the refrigerator and get the food?
No, I don't.
So how the food get to you?
Doc, when I be cooking the food, I don't never give her no
All
fried
right,
food.
come on. Is she killing herself with the food and you're helping to kill her? There's no way around that. I told you how to eat and what to do, and you got the instructions, she got the instruction, and coming here and yelling that she doesn't know what to do. Really? Really? You want to believe all that? You keep talking, I know what you're saying, okay? All right? All you need is your food.
Just send me home. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Viewers observed how Dr. Now ended Lisa's manipulative tactics. As one fan remarked, "Lisa screamed, 'Get me out of here.' She thought Dr. Now will beg her to stay." But as extreme as Lisa's clash with Dr. Now was, she wasn't the only patient who treated honesty like an optional part of the program. Jean Covey took lying to a whole new level, and Dr. Now wasn't afraid to call her out on it. Appearing in Season 7, Episode 11, Jean weighed 702 pounds and was one of the heaviest patients the show had ever seen. Her size had left her on the edge of immobility, and her life was at serious risk. However, Jean's food addiction had roots in deep trauma. Ever since she was a child, Jean had been abused by her grandmother. With no one to turn to, she used food as her escape. That coping mechanism grew into an addiction that spiraled out of control.
Things just continued to get worse at home as my grandmother got meaner. She started to come up with new ways to punish me. One form of punishment from her was smoking cigarettes. So she'd make me smoke as a kid.
By the time she reached Dr. Now, food was no longer just comfort, it was destroying her life. But even before stepping into Dr. Now's office, Jean showed signs that change wasn't gonna come easy. On her way to her first appointment, she was caught smoking and asking for soda, the very habits that had pushed her body to its breaking point.
Just want a cigarette, and I want to try to calm down because I'm getting really anxious.
Get me a soda, a really big one, please. I need something with sugar to help my nerves.
When she finally met Dr. Now, Jean struggled even to explain what her problem really was. Instead of being open, she avoided the truth, which made Dr. Now wonder if she was actually ready to face the reality of the program.
What is the problem that you think the solution is weight loss surgery?
Because I'm too heavy and I can't do it without it.
That solution is not the solution for your problem. Your problem is your eating disorder.
And when Dr. Now asked her directly about her eating habits, Jean began twisting the truth once again. She tried to make her diet sound smaller than it really was. But Dr. Now has seen it all, and he immediately called her out on her lies.
Like if we get pizza, I'll have all the pizza except for 2 slices because I'm hungry.
Okay, so then after that, what do you eat?
If I get hungry, I'll have like an orange.
Then after that,
That's it.
till you go to bed?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, that's a lot, but you're still leaving a lot out because that will get you up to over 700 pounds. So you're already blaming your weight on other things, and now you're lying to me about how much you eat. So I'm very concerned right now.
And things only got worse at her next weigh-in. Instead of losing the 50 pounds Dr. Now had set as her first target, Jean came back heavier than before.
You lost 53 pounds, halfway to your goal. So all you needed to do was lose the remaining 50 pounds in 6 weeks on your own to get down to your overall goal I gave you. but instead you gained back 29 pounds.
True to form, Jean met the confrontation with defensiveness. Rather than taking accountability, she led with denial and lies, hoping Dr. Now would back off. But if there's one thing he doesn't tolerate, it is dishonesty.
I mean, I had a day that I went over the 1,200 calories.
So one bad day and you gained 30 pounds? Is that what you're telling me now? Okay, wait a minute. You've seen the evidence of what you lose when you're on diet and eating what you should. So there's no way you're eating 1,200 calories. There's no way you're eating 2,000 calories. There's no way you're eating 4,000 calories. That math doesn't add up.
When she realized her excuses weren't working, Jean tried to sweep her lack of progress under the rug, but her words and her actions didn't match, and Dr. Now wasn't gonna believe her anymore.
Yeah, I messed up. I didn't do it properly, and I'm gonna work harder. That's all I have to say. I messed up.
Okay, what I want to know is why I should believe that when you have every chance to do it, but you're still lying to me. You're overeating, eating too much.
Okay, I won't overeat anymore. I will make sure that it's the 1,200 calories, because I'm gonna prove you wrong that I can do this.
At this point, Dr. Now's patience was wearing thin. His frustration was obvious, and the next thing he told Jean made it clear just how serious things had become.
You told me 2 months ago that you will do it. And until you're willing to be honest, not much will change. And you don't have time for this. And this is something that both of you need to understand, that this is your life and you're damaging your body by overeating and you're running out of time. And if you hadn't come to see me the first time and haven't had your infection treated, you'll be dead. The only way that you're gonna survive is if you start to take this seriously, but you're not. And you're not focused on doing this.
She went on and made baseless claims, which were only met with more questions from Dr. Now.
If I wasn't focused, I would have stopped smoking, and I would have stopped soda.
Okay, you're giving yourself a really good pass because...
No, I'm not giving myself a pass, but it means that I can do it.
That's two bad habits you had. You're taking them away, but you're not making any progress, and you think this is something that we should...
I didn't get fat overnight, and it's not gonna take a couple weeks or a month or whatever. Everybody's different, and I'm gonna do it.
You tell me you're gonna do this, Jean. What's the difference now and 2 months ago?
Because I'm motivated to do it. I was motivated then to do it.
And then what happened? What went wrong?
Fans praised Dr. Now for his no-nonsense approach by saying, Dr. Now tells it the way it is. There's no BS with him. If you want to make changes, sacrifice is required. And another fan, citing how immature Jean was, stated, her misplaced anger at Dr. Now just shows the emotional immaturity that is very likely hindering any chance she has at true growth and results. If Jean's defensiveness tested Dr. Now's patience, the next patient nearly broke it. Coming into the program, Pauline Potter already had some notoriety attached to her. Before My 600 Pound Life, Pauline was on Dr. Phil, weighing over 700 pounds, and in 2011, she was named the heaviest woman in the world. When Pauline first came on the show in the third episode of season 3, which aired in 2015, she weighed 673 pounds. She was trapped in a cycle of food addiction like many patients, but her fast food cravings were so extreme that she pressured her son into feeding them, often manipulating him with guilt.
We're going to our grocery store because she can't fit in the car that good. It's just easier for her to get in the chair and for me to just go in the car.
I am very aware of the damage I am doing to my son through overeating. These last 6 years have probably been pretty miserable for him. I'm still wanting to snack on, something.
Cookie, chips, ice cream. The next question is, who buys those?
I'll send my son, but I know what you're gonna say, and it's really not his fault. I know he's probably considered an enabler, but I abuse my position as his mother, and I tell him, go get my food, and I force him to do it.
Fans were furious at her treatment of her son, with one commenting, Pauline is horribly selfish for doing that to her son. She cried like a child and made nothing but excuses. Dr. Now wasted no time addressing the issue, and the truth hit Pauline harder than she expected.
The solution is not to buy it.
Right.
Okay, so you already know the solution, you already know the answer, you already know the problem, but you have no control over it.
Even after his warnings, Pauline largely ignored the diet plan. During her follow-up visit to the hospital, it was clear how little effort she actually put in. She struggled with small tasks, refused to move much, and continued making excuses for why she wasn't following the program.
I can't believe that I gained a couple of pounds.
I've had a few things not good for your diet, but I certainly don't feel like I've overeaten.
And when Dr. Now asked about her progress, she only had excuses to give.
How is everything going?
Just been feeling kind of nauseous and dizzy, and
How is the thing going with your activity?
I haven't done a lot of activity in the last week because my stomach hurts.
And that was the breaking point. Pauline hadn't just failed to lose weight, she had actually gained, all while ignoring every instruction Dr. Now had given her, and that pushed him over the edge.
I don't think you're getting how serious this situation is.
Well, I do have a problem with water retention. It may not have been water weight.
Dr. Now decided enough was enough. If Pauline wouldn't take responsibility herself, he would step in and enforce structure, keeping her under close supervision for her own safety. This meant constant monitoring, meal planning, and direct oversight of her daily activities to ensure she stayed on track.
It seems like you're not going to figure this out on your own, so I'm admitting you to the hospital right now.
Being admitted to the hospital gave Pauline the strict guidance she desperately needed and finally made enough progress to be approved for weight loss surgery.
Pauline is losing weight because of her controlled diet. Now that we have her weight going in the right direction, we're gonna go ahead and do bypass on her. But she still has to make decision to be healthy on her own. If she doesn't, the surgery will be waste. This is her last chance.
However, instead of changing her ways, the surgery only seemed to amplify the real problem. Rather than being grateful for the second chance, Pauline's attitude grew even more problematic, and Dr. Now saw it right away.
How you doing this morning?
Okay, I guess.
What do you mean you okay, gas?
Well, I'm still having some pains.
Well, pain after surgery is normal, okay? You need to be up and walking. If you don't walk, you're gonna develop blood clot in the leg and we're gonna have a problem with it.
Oh, I pulled a muscle in my stomach.
No excuse.
I know, you always think it's an excuse, but if it's hurting me, it's there.
But it's hurting you doesn't mean that you should stay in the bed.
Since Pauline refused to follow instructions and move as required, she eventually landed in the emergency room just as Dr. Now had predicted. But even after all this, she was still not taking the program seriously, and her behavior continued to put her health at risk.
So far, Pauline is a very self-destructive person. And she doesn't seem to want to change that. Ultimately, you cannot make the choice for her.
After recovery, she was cleared to go home, but when Dr. Now needed to weigh her one last time, Pauline seemed to think everything had to happen on her terms, ignoring the program's rules and the serious consequences of her choices.
I need to see what you weighed before you go home.
I will. Not right now, not this minute.
Why not?
Because I'm not dressed.
This is not fashion show, okay?
No, Dr. Now, you're not hearing me. I'm not doing it right now.
We can get you
I'm not doing it right now.
and get you out.
No, I'm not doing it right now.
But Dr. Now firmly reminded her that he was running the program, leaving no option for negotiation or excuses.
This is not a picking and choosing thing. Pauline has been in the hospital for a couple of months, but she still is a very difficult patient. And her attitude is the biggest problem right now. Are you ready?
This understandably frustrated the viewers who said, "She wastes Dr. Now's time, telling him, 'Don't weigh me right now?' When my stomach is off, the last thing I want is to eat. It's mind-blowing how they believe their own lies." Where Pauline's battle was defiance after surgery, Tara Taylor's clash with Dr. Now came when her early motivation faded and the excuses took over. Tara appeared in My 600-Pound Life Season 2, Episode 8, weighing around 606 pounds, and even the simplest tasks had become major struggles.
My weight has worn down the cartilage in my knees.
I'm tired of my knees hurting. I'm tired of my back hurting because my stomach hangs so far down. I'm just tired.
Her life had reached a breaking point, and that's when she turned to Dr. Now for help. When Tara first sat across Dr. Now, he didn't sugarcoat the situation.
to sustain her weight, she has to eat at least 6,000 calories a day.
He explained that she would need to follow his 1,200 calorie diet, track her food intake honestly, and prove that she could stick with it before surgery would even be considered.
It's really, really hard to change your eating habits. And cutting your daily meals by half is hard, especially when your whole life you've just known to go to food to make you happy.
At the beginning, Tara agreed and looked determined to show she could change.
I want to lose the weight, and food is going to always be there, but I won't. If I keep on the way I'm going, I won't.
But sticking to the plan was harder than she thought, and Dr. Now was forced to make a call that could change everything.
So if she eats 6 times a day after surgery, I can tell you she's not going to lose weight.
No.
We need to make those transition now to have some weight loss and be in better shape for surgery.
Okay.
After surgery, Tara initially continued to lose weight, but her momentum soon slowed. Instead of keeping up with a diet and staying accountable, she began making excuses. Dr. Now quickly noticed her attitude shift and didn't hesitate to shut down any attempt to dodge responsibility.
Tara is overeating and she's not being truthful about it.
During a follow-up visit, her progress was almost non-existent. The scale showed only a 2-pound loss, which left Dr. Now visibly frustrated.
I've been moving around a little more. Maybe not as much as the doctor would like, but hopefully I've lost some weight.
I'm annoyed. The numbers weren't what I wanted it to be.
For him, it was clear that Tara was not taking the program seriously. Yet Tara insisted she was doing everything right, even as her results told a different story.
You know, your weight loss is not being impressive. So I think you can do better.
As the discussion continued, Tara refused to take accountability. Her tone grew defensive and increasingly disrespectful.
You're still eating too many calories for your metabolism. That's why you're not losing weight.
You can preach and preach and preach. I don't eat nothing I'm not supposed to.
Well,
she tried to twist her words and make excuses, but Dr. Now stayed firm, continuing to tell her the truth in no uncertain terms.
if the patient doesn't want to change, they will convince themselves that they're not eating very much. Most of these patients are pathological eaters.
Seeing that she had no leg to stand on, Tara did what every patient who refused to take accountability resorted to. This behavior obviously frustrated the viewers who commented, "I know she's not throwing a tantrum like she's 2 years old, but you did this to your body." And another fan pointing out how Dr. Now detects their lies, commenting, "Don't tell the doctor he's preaching at you when he's trying to save your life." While Tara tried to fight back with excuses and ultimately ended up losing against Dr. Now,
Tara, we need to get you back on track.
Do you understand what he told you?
Yes, I understand. I'm gonna starve myself for 2 weeks to make everybody happy. I'm done with this. I quit. I'm done. I'm ready to go home now.
Bethany Stout took things to another level with her denial to accept reality. She appeared in Season 8, Episode 3, weighing just over 600 pounds as a former addiction counselor and a mother of 2. But the irony was that her eating had completely spiraled out of control.
I hate my life. I'm 40 years old and over 600 pounds now. And I literally feel like I'm falling apart.
Even simple daily tasks left her exhausted, and her daughters worried she wouldn't live to see them grow up.
A lot of times they end up having to help me. And I hate that because it makes me feel like a burden.
My mom really struggles a lot. She can't really bend down to put her socks on because she's not that mobile.
When Bethany first met Dr. Now, she wanted to prove she could turn her life around. She promised to follow the program and show that she was serious about losing weight and earning surgery.
The only hope is to change now. So how motivated you are to make the changes?
I'm very motivated.
Despite looking motivated, things didn't go smoothly, as she wasn't hitting her target, which caused tension between her and Dr. Now. After that confrontation, Bethany focused harder on the diet.
And Red, no more enabling. It's going to be like a drug addict coming out of withdrawal. She's going to have some shakes and all those things. But if you want her to live, you can't give in no matter how upset she gets.
She started losing weight steadily and eventually earned approval for surgery. And for a while, it seemed like she was ready to leave her old habits behind and take control of her life.
I can't believe it.
I could feel I was losing weight, but I still had no idea what kind of progress I was making.
But after surgery, cracks started to show. Instead of consistent progress, Bethany began stalling. She insisted she was eating correctly and following the plan, but her weight loss didn't reflect her claims.
I'm doing things on my own right now.
You're on your own now.
Yep.
Well, I'm proud of you for taking a step like that and for not using that as an excuse to run back to food or doing less. But you were supposed to lose at least 60 pounds from your last weigh-in by today.
Bethany's defense was constant excuses, downplaying cravings, skipping therapy, and pretending to follow the program. But Dr. Now saw through it and reminded her that surgery alone couldn't cure her addiction.
I just got lab report back. You have a little bit of food poisoning. It seems like you have probably eaten something you left out for too long. But part of living on your own is learning you can't leave food out for too long. So we'll give you some IV fluid.
Perfect.
And in day or two, you should be back to normal, okay?
Dr. Now also pointed out that Bethany was not taking the program seriously, and it was showing clearly in her results. She was at a critical point, and her attitude could either make or break her success.
One or two scenarios. You either gonna make it up to 800 pounds and become completely bedridden soon, at which point you won't survive much longer. That's the end of it. The only hope is to change now.
Viewers were not pleased with Bethany trying to fool Dr. Now and pointed out his ability to recognize the attempt, with one saying, "He's literally done this thousands of times. He knows when a patient is lying. He's not stupid and he doesn't suffer fools gladly." Another viewer pointed out how Bethany was good at playing the victim. And if Bethany pushed back against the program, the next patient, Penny Sager, refused to even take the first step, which made Dr. Now give her a reality check.
When you become as heavy as I have, it's hard. It's real hard. Sometimes it feels like I'm dead.
She first appeared in My 600 Pound Life Season 2, Episode 3, and weighed about 530 pounds at the start. She was largely bedridden and depended on oxygen. Penny's family shared that her struggles with weight went back to childhood. She used food as a coping mechanism, particularly to deal with trauma caused by her abusive alcoholic father.
Penny's eating habits stem from an unstable childhood where food became her only escape. Unfortunately, those habits followed her into adulthood, making it impossible for her to break the cycle, and that terrifies her loved ones.
Food became her comfort, and over time, it grew into a serious addiction that she could no longer manage on her own. And by the time Penny sought help, her size made even the simplest tasks impossible.
I help take care of my son, but it's here. If he refused to come into my bubble, then I wouldn't be able to help him.
That's when she realized her health was declining toward death, which pushed her to reach out to Dr. Now. However, when Penny first met Dr. Now, tension quickly arose, and one of the earliest confrontations involved her use of the oxygen tank.
I'm gonna help you. And that meant everything to me. Those words gave me the strength to come.
However, after being admitted under the hospital's close supervision, Penny began to lose some weight, and for a moment, it seemed like she was finally taking the process seriously. She earned approval for weight loss surgery, which should have been the turning point in her journey.
Penny done very well. She lost 40 pounds and heroin. She still has a lot of issues, but now she's proven she can lose weight. She needs to be able to walk. So the surgery is going to be next step.
But the real challenge began after surgery. Instead of sticking to the plan, Penny slipped back into old patterns. Staff noticed she was not following her post-surgery diet and exercise plan. And on top of that, she displayed hostile behavior toward nurses, making her progress even more difficult to manage.
She does have a diet, bariatric soft, 1,200 calories.
What is it?
Bariatric soft diet, 1,200 calories.
Why am I on a soft diet? This is so stupid. I gotta find out why my diet is this diet. No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
When the doctor attempted to check her weight, all she had were more excuses, which only made it harder for him to trust her commitment to change. And just like that, her attitude continued to deteriorate.
I'm very concerned about Penny's behavior. She's not losing weight anymore. She's being given the right diet, There is no reason why she shouldn't lose more weight while she's in the hospital.
Proving that Penny was intentionally ignoring instructions and refusing to take accountability. At a certain point, Dr. Now had enough and confronted her directly and firmly, making it clear that her excuses and behavior would no longer be tolerated.
Look at my nightgown. It goes all the way.
I don't need to
3
look at
inches
your
away from my
nightgown.
belly.
You can get up and stand up on a scale. We can check your weight.
I can't stand today, honestly.
And not
I'm
today?
too weak.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just too weak.
Okay. I'm kind
Just like Dr. Now, viewers were frustrated about Penny's behavior, with one commenting that,
"Penny is the biggest pain in the ass that I've ever seen on my 600-pound life. She knows exactly what she's doing and just doesn't care."
But Penny's refusal to take responsibility was still less infuriating compared to Shauna Collins, whose stupidity became a bottleneck for her progress. Starting her weight loss journey in Season 8, Episode 9 of the show, Shauna's morbid obesity affected every aspect of her life. This disability also led her to developing more insecurities about her body and growing conscious about how she looked. Despite all the challenges, however, she expressed her determination to try to make changes in her life, even if it meant starting over from scratch.
Every day of my life feels like it's harder than the last, and that things just keep getting worse for me because of my size. And I'm so tired of it and all the pain. I don't want to live this way because I hate this body. It's just too big to be normal.
At her first weigh-in appointment at Dr. Now's clinic, she started her weight loss journey at a staggering 659 pounds. But despite knowing the health conditions, she chose to be defensive about her eating habits when asked about them by Dr. Now.
Shauna, looks like you're at 659 today, huh?
Yeah.
And you're only 22, huh?
Yes, sir.
Have you tried to lose weight at any point in your life?
Yeah. But I just don't stay on the diets usually, honestly.
Why?
Like I eat too much or I eat too little.
I don't think eating too little is the problem.
And just like that, things wouldn't go as planned for Shauna, as she soon encountered an absurd problem that prevented her from going all in. But more than the problem itself, it was her way of resolving it that was more absurd, and this caught the attention of the viewers who were quick to call her out.
Months since I went to see Dr. Now. I've asked Ericus to try and get me healthier meals and help me figure out a better diet. There's a lot of papers Dr. Now gave me with his diet and exercise on them.
People like her piss me off, making all those excuses. I give Dr. Now credit for dealing with people like her. Her attitude is like, I don't care less. On her next appointment with Dr. Now, she was confronted about her lousy conduct when she finally revealed what happened to Dr. Now. And although Dr. Now was visibly disappointed about her carelessness, he still dealt with it all with care and genuine concern for Shauna, trying to explain to her what the implications of her actions would be if she didn't take things seriously.
Right now, it doesn't seem like you have any interest in making any changes because we gave you the instruction, you lost the instruction. We gave it to you again, and you lost it the second time. So far, every choice you made shows me this doesn't really matter to you.
Other than that, he also gave her another weight loss goal to follow and prove her determination this time, even when she failed to do so the previous time. Shauna quickly agreed to this arrangement, and things started looking better for her. That is until she had her next weight loss appointment in the following month.
You stick with the healthy eating habit, don't overeat, okay? Take the diet out of the boxes and we'll send it to you again. And do your exercises and see if we can get to move down there.
Okay.
And then I want you to come back here in either a month or 2 months, whichever you figure out. If it is in 1 month, I expect you to have lost 50 pounds by then.
Not only did she not reach her goal, but she was so far off her weight loss goal that she had no excuse for her slow progress. And still, she made another lame excuse as silly as the previous one, this time looking even more clueless than she did before.
I'm so proud of myself. I doubted myself a lot, but I tried my hardest this past month, even though I was on my own. So it feels really good to see my progress in what I did.
Not only that, but she'd continue to defend herself even after being caught lacking twice in the 3 months she was in the program. This led to viewers bashing her for her ignorance, saying she lost an email,
How do you lose an email unless you delete it and then delete it again from your trash bin or purge it? This is weaponized incompetence. This was really disappointing for Dr. Now, but what was more infuriating was the way she looked so nonchalant while answering his questions.
Well, I'm sure it is, but the issue is that's not the only kind of food you've been eating the past 2 months, because you gained. So do you feel psychotherapy helped you at all?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess?
Yeah.
Then why do you think you did worse this time than last time?
I don't know.
Do you still have the diet, or did you lose it again?
Honestly, I lost it again.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
So we need to give you another copy?
Could you?
However, Shauna did make progress in her next appointment, which was months after the second appointment, and lost 35 pounds. And yet she still wasted a lot of time, and therefore that diluted her weight loss to almost a negligible sum, which Dr. Now pointed out. However, in almost 9 months of being in the program, Shauna regained almost half the weight she had lost, going back to 636 pounds. This aggravated Dr. Now and showed how much she had derailed from her path to progress.
That's disappointing. I don't know what happened, except for that I think it was a mistake pushing myself to try and find other ways to cope with things. So I knew this would happen and I'm frustrated, because I feel like I was going in a good direction, and all that got messed up. And now Dr. Now isn't going to be happy with me again.
What's even worse is the excuse she gave this time to get out of the situation yet again. This understandably infuriated viewers who criticized her, saying, "She is emotionally immature. She's 22 and not taking responsibility for her life." Additionally, another shocking yet expected revelation was when she was asked about her activity and physical health. After the disastrous appointment, it would have been expected of her to take the initiative in her life and actually make some progress. But she was adamant not to listen and keep living the same life. This was all proved right in her next appointment, where she gained another 25 pounds, ballooning to 661 pounds this time.
Well, I had to be at 556. I'm just in shock and I don't know what to think. I know I haven't been doing a perfect job, but I don't know how I did worse than last time.
This proved that she was playing around for months and wasted other people's time while she continued with her food addiction. And as expected, this was also the last straw for Dr. Now. And at this point, he had completely lost faith in her and made the necessary decision to kick her out of the program. But while Shauna was oblivious of the damage she was doing to her body, Karen Suffren was even more delusional and firm in her stance, eventually confronted by Dr. Now. Starting her weight loss journey in Season 13, Episode 3, Karen's obesity was a genuine concern that held her back. But what was even more concerning was how much she had let food influence her life.
And the only thing that makes me feel better is when I eat. So I'm eating more, even though food is what caused me to be in prison to begin with.
Dr. Now was aware of that, and he gave her a realistic goal to push her to make a little progress before he could approve her for surgery.
Because I want you to lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months to show me that you're serious. And I'm going to send you some instruction about the healthy eating habit.
Okay.
Go over it, and then I want you to follow that.
Okay.
The diet will be 1,200 calorie diet with no carb, high protein.
But instead of pushing through the discomfort, she let her anxiety keep her from following the plan.
I'm sorry, Bismo, I can't. Bismo, come on, honey. Come on, baby. I'm so sorry. I can't do this, come on.
Even abandoning her exercise and slipping back into old habits.
When I first tried to go out, it was overwhelming and I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to go and do it. Come on, boy. Come on, let's go. It just was not a good experience, so it was hard.
She even used this excuse intentionally to get things to go her way, like when she did on her first appointment with Dr. Now.
I missed the appointment. It was too much for me. And I kind of shut down. I couldn't do it. And I know I've been avoiding Dr. Now for the past few weeks because he was trying to get a hold of me. But I wanted some time to work on his diet and exercise, to make some progress to show him I do want to change my life now.
And tried to make arrangements in her favor because she wanted to save herself the trouble of commuting to his clinic on her own.
I told Dr. Now's clinic I was okay with getting on a video call with him again, and I'm hoping he can see some of my progress, and that it's enough for him to keep working with me, even though I don't think I can go to a clinic and get my weight or a checkup right now. I just hope Dr. Now understands.
Dr. Now, however, wasn't too happy about this and decided to call her out for her behavior.
I gathered that since you missed your appointment and didn't respond to our call for past few weeks. So what happened?
I don't know, I just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do what?
I couldn't go and make it to the appointment.
But she was adamant in her stance and kept repeating the same excuse.
I tried to go down and drive down to the clinic, and just so I can have, a practice run to help with my anxiety and getting there. But, I didn't sleep well the night before, and I panicked. I just shut down. I wasn't able to do it.
On top of that, she had already made up her mind and purposefully missed the appointment to flee any sort of accountability.
So I lose some more weight. I might have the courage to do it soon.
So how much weight do you think you need to lose to be able to go to a clinic?
I'm not sure. I know I'm working on it. I've been following the plan, the eating plan, and I've been exercising every day. So I'm just hoping that by continuing to do that, I'll have the courage to go and see you.
Her delusion made her believe she was doing far better than she was, leaving her stubborn and convinced that she was on the right track, no matter what anyone said.
So how much weight do you think you have lost?
I think I've lost maybe 100 pounds.
Sometimes people lose 6-7 pounds, they convince themselves they lost a lot of weight. But I don't think you have lost 100 pounds.
This greatly aggravated the viewers, who were quick to bash her attitude. Karen doesn't want to take accountability for what she did to herself. Which was true, as despite claiming she had lost over 100 pounds, she was still 604 pounds and extremely overweight. This debunked her claims of having lost significant weight and instead showed the length of her delusion. To avoid accountability yet again, she wasn't ready to tell all of this to Dr. Now and wanted to escape the situation no matter what.
You can call, can't you? I don't know, I'm just gonna have to go back home and I'll just call when I get home. I don't know what this means. I was hoping I was going to be ready for this, but I'm not. And I don't know when I will be. I just know it's not now.
She spent another 2 months trying to lose weight, only to be disappointed when the small loss fell far short of what she thought it was.
Okay, 583. I don't understand it, because I know I lost a whole lot more than that. I don't want to have to call Dr. Now with that number, because I know it's wrong, but I know I can't avoid it.
To not take any responsibility for her weight yet again, she pulled the move of blaming the weighing scale this time.
I weighed myself this morning. The scale's not going down to the number that I think it should be at, because I know, I've lost 100 pounds since starting the program, and it's just not showing that.
However, even after demanding a redo, she was still not convinced.
It said 585 this time. That's not right, Dr. Now, because it's higher than before, and that's not right.
And kept protesting till Dr. Now shut her down.
They're precise and is accurate, so you may think you lost more weight, but in reality, you haven't lost as much as you think you have.
No, I am, Dr. Now, because I can feel it.
Well, if you think you have lost and you feel it, why doesn't it show on you that you lost that much weight?
Everyone can tell how much I lost. People have told me how much.
You don't go out, so by everyone telling you that mean your family?
Yes, but they can see it.
All right, Karen, I'm not going to argue with you, but the scale is a tool that measures your weight and your progress. And it shows that you only lost half of what you need to lose to show me that you're willing to do this.
Although Dr. Now was not satisfied with her progress and was about to call her off, she demanded that she be given another chance to prove herself this time.
Because with all these issues, I don't see any way forward.
Give me one last chance, Dr. Now.
Okay, Karen, if I give you another chance, what is the plan?
I'm gonna lose more weight and be at the goal that you want, and I'm gonna go to the local clinic.
But despite it all, her effort was still not sufficient to achieve her weight loss goals, which eventually led her to getting her second dose of disappointment.
So that means I have to be below 533 today.
Lock in. Okay, we got 572. How's that?
Is that right? Was that zeroed out?
Yes, we did. Just zero it out.
Again, she had nothing but a lame excuse to defend her lack of progress, which reflected her sheer ignorance.
Calling Dr. Now because he's not going to believe me when I tell him that there's something wrong with the scales.
And even her lack of responsibility, considering she was still not ready to be accountable for her actions.
I've been working as hard as I ever have to follow Dr. Now's plans for me to the T. But I'm being let down by the same lady with the same scale.
What's worse is how she carried on with the same attitude, even while being reprimanded by Dr. Now.
So I assume that you don't like what you saw on the scale?
It's because I'm working my hardest, Dr. Now, and I don't feel like what the scale is saying is accurate. And I don't feel like there's any point in talking to you about it. You're not going to believe me anyway.
If you expect that I believe you over the scale, you're right.
Dr. Now, however, pushed back and demanded she take responsibility for once, considering she was still adamant.
Because the scale doesn't lie, and you realize that you're lying to yourself if you don't believe the scale.
She still insisted and defended herself, even when she knew her argument was failing.
And I have lost 100 pounds since September. You're telling me that's not enough?
Okay, Karen, first of all, you told us you were 640 pounds, but the only starting weight we have from you was around 600.
Her attitude was not only inappropriate and rude, but it also raised a lot of criticism, considering she wasn't ready to let go of her beliefs, something that did not sit right with the viewers. What annoys me the most is the fact that they're wasting the doctor's time. She clearly knows that she's not losing weight because she knows very well that her diet has not changed. After this heated conversation, Dr. Now had to finally nail down her delusions.
So in reality, in the 6 months, you only lost 30 pounds. So you could have lost a double of that in 1 month if you were doing the diet. So what you're showing me that you made some changes, but not a lot.
However, Karen wasn't the only one with such an attitude. June McCamey from Season 4, Episode 5 of the show was also not ready to compromise on anything, only to get called out by Dr. Now. Starting her journey at a staggering 590 pounds, June's health was at the brink of collapse right from the start.
I am very concerned about your health right now. If I send you home, maybe last time I see you. So I'm going to admit you to hospital immediately to make sure that you're not close to another stroke or worse right now.
However, even though she was aware of the state her body was in, she wasn't ready to compromise on the things she enjoyed, food being the most important one.
What about strawberries? Maybe once or twice a day? Only 1 or 2?
We want to eliminate sugar as much as possible.
The strawberries, I'm being very honest with you. Strawberries are my addiction.
The stay at the hospital helped her get her out of immediate health concerns, and also helped her lose a lot of weight. But shockingly, she put almost all that weight she had lost over her stay back on as soon as she was discharged, gaining over 20 pounds and going back to 556 pounds within a month. As expected, she had an excuse ready to avoid any sort of accountability.
Fluid.
You may think that this is water weight, but it's not. It's fat. You gain weight because you didn't stick with your diet and exercise.
But Dr. Now was not ready to let that excuse slide and decided to call her out. Despite that, she was avoiding the truth and acting dismissively against Dr. Now.
And I see that unwillingness to change. You're always going to be sick because if you encounter something you don't want to do, you say you're sick.
I respect you totally, but I'm going to say this. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
Because I know this is my time to lose weight.
Eventually, she did lose some weight in the coming months, but the real trouble began when she became uninterested in her progress and slowed down, resulting in her weight loss coming to a crawl.
I was down to 295 when I left the hospital. So if I stayed on track, I should be down to 255 today. Okay. It is what it is.
Dr. Now wasn't happy with June's progress and decided to confront her about it, but June seemed to have already made up her mind.
You are doing well and staying on track, but your weight loss is slowing down. Last time you dropped to losing only 16 pounds a month, and now you're down to losing only 7 pounds a month. This is going to lead you back to gain everything you lost.
I disagree. I don't think I'm overeating because I'm still losing weight.
Despite continued warnings, June wasn't ready to admit that she was backsliding and refused to take accountability for her actions.
Now you're 292, so you aren't losing weight anymore.
I just made some poor choices, to be honest.
Well, this has been a chronic problem. You should have been right now under 200 pounds.
As the argument escalated, June resorted to even more delusional excuses to try to justify her slow progress.
The same thing that drive you to eat before is still playing a role in your life, and you haven't been able to get a handle on that situation.
I feel I've got a handle on it, but then I have moments. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't.
But instead of acknowledging her stalled progress, she would go on and give yet another unreasonable excuse.
So losing 285 pounds in a year and a half is not good enough for you. Is that what you're saying?
You don't understand me. It's not about how much you lost. It's about where you're at now and the choices you're making. You're not at your goal weight of 200 pounds.
That's your theory. I mean, your theory is you want everybody at 200 pounds, but I don't want to be under 200.
Which meant that she was okay with throwing away all the progress she had made so far and going back to the same lifestyle she had fought so hard to get rid of. People criticized her mental addiction to food and ignorance, saying, "This is exactly why the mental addiction to food should be dealt with before the patients even get the surgery." However, Dr. Now maintained that it was still not a great excuse to not make healthier life choices, especially with someone who's had a lot of complications about her morbid obesity.
You don't want to be under 200 pounds? That's fine. It's not about being at a number. It is about understanding your eating disorder and correcting it.
He even gave her an ultimatum this time, which would decide her fate in the program.
Think about figuring out how to get back on track. Get control of your eating disorder and hit that goal. If not, then do it your way.
But more than her stalled progress, it was her attitude that didn't sit well with the viewers. "These patients kill me with I want to do it my way." Newsflash, your way got you on my 600-pound life. But while June clashed openly, Holly's disrespect came in another form, brushing off accountability and ignoring Dr. Now's authority. Starting her journey in a miserable state in Season 7, Episode 5, Holly's addiction to food was extremely concerning, considering she had let it emotionally influence her.
The only thing that brings me any joy and happiness, it makes me feel better, is food. And it's my only motivation to get out of bed again.
Being 658 pounds at such a young age put her at extreme health concerns. Dr. Now provided her with a detailed plan to stay on track, but by her next weigh-in 2 months later, Holly had other plans.
38 years old and on your way to being 700 pounds soon.
Okay.
So this is what you need to do to show me that you're ready to finally make the changes you need. I'm going to give you a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet, and I want you to start on that and lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months, okay?
Okay.
As her results were nowhere near the target set for her.
If I made it to my weight loss goal of losing 50 pounds over the last 2 months. But I'm really scared right now because everything is riding on this. I was at 658, so that means I need to be at least below 608 today. So I hope I did that because I've been working really hard to do this and get approved today.
Dr. Now did not like her stagnant progress at all and decided to confront her about it.
So you only lost a little over half of what you're supposed to for your goal.
Yeah, not too happy about that.
So you want to tell me what happened? And don't try to lie to me.
I was just eyeballing my portions instead of actually measuring them out. So I think I was just eating bigger portions than I thought I was.
However, her lame excuses showed that she was not up to taking any sort of responsibility for her actions. Even after shifting to Houston to focus on her progress, she decided it would be best to order takeout and eat it just a day before her appointment with Dr. Now. And her slacking was revealed after she stepped on the scale and it showed an 18-pound weight loss instead of the 50 pounds she was supposed to lose. With her weight dropping to only 611 pounds in the 2 months she was given to work for herself, viewers were disappointed at her for not taking her situation seriously. Her immaturity is difficult to tolerate. Moreover, with Dr. Now questioning and disapproving of her incompetence and unwillingness to take initiative, Holly had nothing to say.
Holly, stop playing games and lying to me. You know exactly what you're doing when you're making the choices you do. I'm not gonna play along with this act. You have this dynamic where you act like a child who doesn't understand. So everyone gives up on trying to get you to do what you should. That's not gonna work on me. You got that? All right, so tell me what's really going on.
But when she did mention she was still not ready to let go of the one thing that brought her into the program in the first place.
And it's just a repeating record in my head that plays over and over and over until I give in. Nothing is working to get past that record playing in my head.
What is record playing saying?
I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate, I want chocolate.
So chocolate is more important to you than living, apparently.
Dr. Now made up his mind and decided it was best to let her out of the program.
All right, Holly. If you aren't even willing to do this and show me you're ready to work hard, even for the short term, then there is no point in us doing any weight loss surgery or revision on you.
But her stubbornness and unwillingness to change were nothing compared to Latonia Patain. Latonia was featured on Season 11, Episode 2 of the show, only to have a miserable ending, all because she was not willing to change herself. Starting her weight loss journey at 632 pounds, her motivation to do stuff was only restricted to words instead of actions.
And now you're 631 pounds. And how long you been in this motorized wheelchair?
About 5 years.
Okay, so things have gotten worse for you. So now, how motivated you are to change your eating habit, how motivated you to change your life, and how motivated you are to give up this motorized wheelchair?
I'm very motivated.
However, Dr. Now decided to give her a chance and test her progress by giving her a set goal to achieve before he could consider the weight loss surgery.
So if you stick to the diet I gave you, that shouldn't be a problem for you. You think you can do that?
I can do it.
However, according to her caregiver, she wasn't treating her progress the way she should have been treated, which was inevitable as there was no one there to stop her from doing what she wanted to do.
Your cheeks on her diet, but not much as she used to. I see her sometimes. I try not to look at her. I act like I didn't see her. You know, you can't be restrict on a diet all the time. Sometimes you need a little something more for a taste.
As a result, she not only failed her weight loss goal miserably, but also gained 4 pounds, ballooning up to 636 pounds. Upon Dr. Now's questioning, she had nothing valid to say in her defense.
So tell me why you gained the weight.
I gained, 4 pounds because basically I gotta try harder. This is something new for me. I've been eating unhealthy for so long.
However, Dr. Now wasn't willing to buy this excuse and reprimanded her to get back on track.
Here last time, we gave you exercises to follow with physical therapy to help you start getting out of your chair. And you didn't do that. And you were supposed to lose 40 pounds over the last month. But instead, you gained weight. And instead of waking up to things, you're deflecting the situation by saying, having pain. Yeah, you should have pain because you are 636 pounds. instead of being 170 pounds.
He also addressed her delusion and called her out for not doing the only thing she was supposed to do, which was to stay disciplined and work towards her goal.
Because you're lying so much to yourself, you believe that you lie. You keep repeating the same lie, it doesn't come true.
This, however, not only made Latonia a lot more defensive, but also more disrespectful, and she lashed out at Dr. Now.
You think I want to come here, drive all that long time, come here just to get chewed out? I could have stayed at home for that.
We're not chewing it out. We're giving you the reality.
That is a reality. I mean, and you saying all that just to say, well, you know your fat ass needs to lose weight. You in a wheelchair. You 37 years old. If you keep going the way you're going, you're not going to make it. That's basically all you have to say.
Despite all the disrespect, Dr. Now decided to give her another chance to make sure she gets her fair chance.
And I'm going to give you 2 months to lose 60 pounds. That is less weight each month and easier goal. If you do that, then we can work with you. If not, then I don't know what else we can do for you.
However, she still wasn't happy with the way the appointment had turned out to be and tried to dodge accountability at her next appointment, claiming sudden leg pain to avoid facing the scale. But Dr. Now quickly saw through it, and the results showed she was still far from her goals, with added complications which only made things worse.
She said that was her main concern, but she doesn't have any issues like that. I am concerned about her heart. Some of the tests are a little concerning, and I want to address that. Some of the tests show that her heart may be struggling a great deal right now.
Feeling pain. I'm aggravated, I'm hurt. I can't breathe in here.
Her sheer indifference and lack of discipline only worsened during her hospital visit when she refused to put any sort of effort into her progress.
Latonia here in the hospital for the last couple of weeks. She came to the hospital because she was having a problem with her heart. While she was here, we have had her on a controlled diet to get her weight down. But she hasn't been too cooperative. Most days, she tells PT she's too tired or her body hurts too much to get out of the bed.
This also infuriated the viewers, who expressed their disappointment at her refusal to take charge. Latonia is 100% infuriating. She says she wants to lose the weight, but she doesn't want to do any of the work. She apparently thinks the surgery is a miracle cure. Despite it all, it didn't look as though Latonia was anywhere near changing, as she threw tantrums at every minor concern without thinking about the consequences of her actions, which only ended up in her receiving a reprimand from Dr. Now.
I haven't really ate nothing since I've been here.
You're not gonna fade away. You're gonna be fine.
I still have to eat something.
No, you're eating the food that belongs to the next 4 years ahead of time. So if you don't eat, you're gonna be all right. At your weight, body got the reserve that you don't eat anything for a week or two, you're not gonna have anything gonna happen.
Despite all this, Latonia was anything but willing to change her conduct and work towards a healthier lifestyle. Much like Lenitha, who was one of the most stubborn patients from Season 8, Episode 16. Not only was she non-compliant, but she also prioritized other stuff over her weight loss and her health.
At work, it's not going to be a good time for me to leave again to go to Houston for my next appointment. So I called Dr. Now's office and told him that I needed to push it back because I can't risk taking the time off of work. But I'm still determined to make my appointment next month.
Beginning her journey with a set weight loss goal given by Dr. Now at her first appointment.
Okay, but the goal I'm giving you is to lose 60 pounds in 2 months. So that should be very easy for you if you do the diet, okay? And if you do that, then weight loss surgery become an option for you.
And with her starting with excuses right off the bat, her journey was already headed towards disaster. This proved to be true after her follow-up appointment with Dr. Now, which did not go as planned. Despite being given a clear goal in her first appointment, Lenitha had made little progress in her weight, and Dr. Now was not too happy about it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear all that, but it doesn't look like you have lost any weight since I saw you last. Even though you told me you had when I called you, do you feel like you lost much?
I've lost a little, but not as much as I need.
Well, it's been several months and we haven't been able to get you to lose weight, so what do you think the solution will be?
On top of that, her lame excuses only weakened her case when Dr. Now refused to comply.
Do the diet like I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah, but that's a figure of speech. It needs some action behind it. What
Right.
happened with that?
I didn't do the action behind it.
Well, but you're running out of time, and this is several months, and we haven't been able to get you to lose any weight.
But Lenitha was not letting anyone put her down, no matter what. She argued with Dr. Now about her diet and kept trying to impose her beliefs and ideas on him.
But it's still the portion sizes of what I'm eating.
So explain to me why you're eating when you're not hungry.
I guess I feel like I hadn't eaten yet, so I better eat.
That doesn't make sense because you say, you kill yourself and food is doing that to you. So you don't need to eat all.
However, Dr. Now did not hold back.
And look at the food that you have eaten so far. You have eaten the food that belonged the next 4 years ahead of time. And you feel like you have to eat, but at your weight, you're not going to starve for a very long time.
And he even tried to make her understand that it was important for her to take her diet seriously.
And there never was, but now you have a diet and all kind of instruction that we give you to understand the changes you need to make to lose weight and save your life. And you're diabetic and you have high blood pressure and all kind of issues. One of these days you're gonna run out of time. If anything goes wrong with you, there's nothing anybody can do to save you. You understand that?
Considering she had made no significant changes in her lifestyle, even after 2 months of being in the program.
And you still haven't done that. So far, I'm not very happy with you not losing weight and telling me after this few months you're going to change now that you just realized what you were doing wrong, okay?
Exactly, that's what I said. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. My problem was not sitting around eating.
Her unwillingness to make the necessary changes brought in more hate from the viewers.
She thought all her excuses and stalling tactics would work on Dr. Now, but he's heard them all before.
But Lenitha had already hardened up on the fact that she had nothing to do with her eating the wrong things.
So I don't sit around and just eat. It's what I eat when I do eat. That's my problem. And I understand what you're saying, but I don't just sit around and eat. Just like today, I have not eaten. I'm waiting to eat so that when I get through with this conference call with you, that I can sit down and go and fix something to eat. I have not ate today.
Dr. Now shut her beliefs down by confirming that restricting her diet would do nothing but benefit her in her journey.
Nothing is going to happen to you if you don't eat for a while. And you're not going to be malnourished to start like you're saying, okay?
You're right.
If you don't believe that, then how do you think that weight loss surgery?
Lenitha, on the other hand, took Dr. Now's advice the wrong way and started arguing with him again.
But it doesn't take all the beating down and the constant asking the same questions over and over again. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But it's time to move forward from that. I told you what I was going to do. We're going to do it or not. So if you think weight loss surgery is going to help, then we'll move forward with it. If you don't think it's going to help, then fine. But I'm on this journey to lose weight. I'm not on this journey to keep getting badgered and bush it down because you don't believe that I'm going to lose it. All I can do is show you what I'm going to do. That's it.
Her attitude was heavily criticized by the viewers who said,
"The secondhand embarrassment that I feel over how she's talking to Dr. Now on this Zoom call. I really wanted to like her, but arguing with Dr. Now and acting like she knows it all while losing nothing? I can't."
Her attitude was pushing Dr. Now towards the edge.
If you think you figured out the solution, then why are you talking to me? If you already...
That's why I came to you. You helped me figure out the solution. And now I'm trying to get on the journey so that I can do the weight loss surgery to help with the solution. That's why I came to you.
But my concern is that you are not understanding what we're trying to tell you, and you're not following what we're telling you. You just keep repeating what you think that is the solution for you.
Okay, but I'm hearing what you're telling me. You keep telling me that.
And he insisted that she drop the attitude and start working towards her betterment without thinking of the compromise on food she'd have to make.
You're repeating to me, so what is it that I'm missing?
Well, one is that you don't need to feel compelled that you have to eat because nutrition and all that stuff. If you don't eat one day, if you don't eat 2 days, if you don't eat 3 days, nothing is going to happen because the body of human stores the calories and nutrition in the liver before being used for several days. So if we get in a situation...
As expected though, the argument had no effect on her, and she continued with her unhealthy habits until eventually they caught up with her progress. By this point, Dr. Now was not confident in her or her strive to succeed.
No matter how little you're eating, it's still too much.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So right now, to the standard of that you were eating before, you're eating less.
And Lenitha only made it worse by throwing a fit again.
Because I'm not eating. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And I'm not going to change what I'm saying because I'm not eating. Okay. I'm not. And I'm tired of people telling me that I'm eating and I'm not eating. And nobody's sitting there watching it.
Unsurprisingly, Lenitha was eventually excluded from the weight loss program because of her refusal to comply and her unnecessary fits. But her attitude was nothing compared to Season 7, Episode 19's Angela J, whose journey only ended in vain. In her case, there were things right from the start that Dr. Now was not so happy about.
And her manipulating is going to be another big problem because she clearly wants to be the one who's in control, where everyone believes and does whatever she says. But these two concerns I have are just the tip of the iceberg of issues.
Angela's controlling behavior was on display during her episode.
But it just seems like no one's happy or on board anymore. So it feels like everyone is turning against me. But I told them all, as far as I'm concerned, it's a done deal. We're moving to Houston, and that's all there is to it. And until then, I've got to lose weight.
Unfortunately for her, though, she could not do the same with Dr. Now, but she remained oblivious and kept on with the same habits that had gotten her into the program in the first place.
I don't know what to do, because the only thing that's getting me through all this right now is food. But I'm trying to stick to the diet as much as I can, even though it's hard. I'm just having moments where I have to have something that's not on the diet.
But this wasn't the only disappointing thing she did.
Appointment with Dr. Now. And I was supposed to be back down to see him for my follow-up a couple months ago.
She was actively looking for ways to teach her desired results without putting in any effort no matter what.
In my last call with him that he wanted me to hit, which I think was just punishment from him for missing my appointment.
Come back in here.
He doesn't know what he's talking about when he says I'm just making excuses.
However, as expected, at her weigh-in, she did not reach her goals and was left feeling disappointed. Dr. Now added to her disappointment when he dropped another bombshell on her.
I'm proud of that.
So it looked like you almost lost 50 pounds, huh?
Yes.
All right, that's a little progress, but you're supposed to lose 100 pounds in 2 months. And on top of that, it's been 5 months since you were here. So at this point, you haven't shown me you're taking this seriously as you need. And I'm not approving you for anything today. But since you lost 50 pounds, we give you another chance to stick with your diet and try to lose another 50 pounds, okay?
Okay.
And although Dr. Now tried to put it as nicely as he could, Angela wasn't having it and decided it was better to argue back.
Well, if you expected me to lose 50 pounds every month for 6 months, I wouldn't need you.
What you seem to need is a calculator. Because losing 50 pounds a month for 6 months would have been weight loss goal of 300 pounds. And that's not what I asked you to do. But I did give you a goal of 100 pounds in 2 months since you wasted...
And just like that, the argument only escalated when Dr. Now became aggravated.
Month, I'm not coming. I don't have time for that.
Heaven forbid we waste any of your time while you waste ours with your lies and games.
This was appreciated by Dr. Now's fans, who also had enough of her attitude, saying, "I love how Dr. Now puts her in her place. He doesn't let her try to manipulate him. He puts it right back in her face." Fairly enough, things did not end up for Angela the way she had expected. Rather, it only got worse when Dr. Now questioned her about her stalled progress.
So you want to explain to me why that is?
I'm going through a lot of changes right now. Bear with that.
Okay. You done with your liver tantrum and
But Dr. Now decided not to hold back and to give her a reality check she desperately needed.
All right. At your current rate, you're going to be dead in a year or less. Unless you make the changes you need. So you can give me every excuse.
Even proceeded to give her a briefing of how her life's gonna turn out if she continues the same path she is on right now.
Try to convince yourself it is an emotional issue that is justified. You like to act like the whole world is unfair and you don't deserve your situation. So you want to give me attitude and act like this is unfair. Go right ahead. But the only person you're gonna hurt is yourself. And that's what you're doing right now, because you have had 8 months at this point.
Still, her attitude problem was not letting her understand how she was digging her own grave, all while Dr. Now tried to knock sense into her and shut her down.
And you still haven't shown me enough to convince me that you're ready to do the program. But since you're down here in Houston, I'll give you one more chance.
I should have never came here.
Well, then why are you here? Why do you even want to do this?
I don't know. I don't know. So that's a good question.
While Dr. Now shutdowns of Angela J's blaming attitude showcased his low tolerance for manipulation, he needed the same firmness for Angela Gutierrez and her delusions about massive weight loss. Angela Gutierrez's story was a particularly frustrating case of self-deception and repeated failure, making her one of the most delusional participants in the eyes of many viewers.
I would eat fast food every day if I could. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Defined by denial and repeated failures, she faced some of Dr. Now's most unforgiving confrontations, especially since she had already undergone weight loss surgery once, only to regain all that weight.
I lost about 150 pounds when I got my gastric bypass surgery, and I started partying.
Because of this, at her opening appointment at 608 pounds, she immediately began explaining away her conditions, with health issues like lymphedema and mental issues as an excuse for weight gain after the surgery.
And basically, I think feeling sorry for myself because I can't move around. I used the lymphedema as an excuse on my leg, so when I started not moving around...
The doctor now instantly challenged this excuse-making, stating pointedly,
"None of that make any sense. 3 different excuses that all have nothing to do with why you're over 600 pounds. Especially since lymphedema doesn't develop until you already gained a significant amount of weight."
Which only led to more excuse-making and confrontation with Dr. Now.
When I got that surgery, I had so many life changes happen. My husband leave me. I lost all that weight and all of a sudden people paying attention to me. I was running a business. In 1 year, I was bombarded. And basically, I didn't have no...
Although he made it clear from day one that past drama wouldn't earn her another surgery, only clear action and personal responsibility would. Yet, this lack of seriousness was evident right away, and Dr. Now called this out instantly, connecting it to the core of her problem.
Nothing has worked and you haven't changed your eating habit. So we have really bad situation with you, because the real answer to my question, why you're over 600, is that you've been hoping for some sort of magic solution. Why you keep doing whatever you want. And having failed weight loss surgery...
In fact, the most defining aspect of her episode was her outright false claims and exaggerations. As time went on, Angela would report staggering, unbelievable weight loss numbers between appointments without any evidence.
I've lost over 70 pounds.
Expecting you to just take your word for that?
Yes, sir.
To which Dr. Now responded with skepticism and fact-checked her.
So you'll be able to go somewhere to weigh yourself? How do you know what your weight is?
Not that I know what my weight is, but I can now fit in my van.
Ultimately, he outright refused to accept her fabricated progress and called her out for every excuse she's made before giving her a final ultimatum to show up for official weigh-ins or be dismissed.
You give me excuses. I think it is more likely you are lying to me right now. But if you want to prove me wrong, we're gonna have to see you within a week. Get serious now. But if not, and you play more games, then you won't have to worry about moving to Houston, because the program won't be an option for you.
Okay, then I'll try. I'll let you know. I'll try.
Yet despite this final ultimatum, Angela continued avoiding accountability, making emotional appeals and blaming her family.
I just had some family things going on and I haven't been able to come out to Texas. But I do plan on being out there to hopefully get an apartment.
A behavior which left viewers disappointed, with one commenting, "This isn't a surprise. She seemed very unwilling to commit to the program and used a ton of excuses. It is sad, but not at all unexpected." In the end, the final confrontation came when, during a last phone consultation, Dr. Now summarized her entire failed journey.
Avoiding coming back to show me your progress. And the most common cause of people when they don't show up for an appointment is because they haven't lost weight.
Okay, you say I don't look like I've lost any weight, but I feel like I've lost a lot of weight.
When it comes to this program, you're not special. And lying to me about your weight is not going to get me to tell you what you want. How are you claiming you lost 120 pounds since I saw you? Last month it was 70 pounds, so you're saying you lost another 50 pounds since then?
Yes, sir.
Then how come you don't look like it and you're still on oxygen?
I don't know, sir, but I have been following my diet.
You have spent your whole life finding ways to manipulate people around you and creating a facade and delusion that you're trying, or you're not eating very much, or you're going to get healthy, when you have no real intention of doing that. You just want to eat what you want and hope for a magic solution to save you from consequence of that. The only way to change the fact that you're going to assume because of your weight is that you have to do something about it.
As a result, Angela ultimately left his care and returned to Ohio, continuing to justify her choices, the very delusional thinking Dr. Now had warned would never work, which ultimately led to her demise. The entire saga left audiences astounded by Angela's sheer level of delusion and her blatant lies about weight loss, and many found her incredibly frustrating to watch, saying, "She lies so easily and her level of delusion is through the roof. She needed to wipe out that condescending smirk off her face that she had when Dr. Now was calling her out." Much like Angela blamed her health and lack of support, Maya Radanovic also consistently externalized her failures, pointing the finger at her boyfriend's behavior. In fact, her season highlighted a dynamic that viewers know all too well. A patient who seemed more focused on blaming everyone else for her problems rather than doing the hard work herself. Maya arrived overwhelmed and immediately started complaining, blaming long walking distances at airports and others for giving her misinformation.
How far everything is really frustrating because I called both the airports before I left and asked them about how far everything was and how much walking there was.
This pattern was evident right away, as during her initial consultation, Dr. Now cut straight through her lies and shut her down.
And any snack in between?
No.
What do you drink?
Water, juice, coffee.
So according to what you're telling me, you don't snack, you don't eat junk food, you don't really drink anything bad, you just overeat some, and somehow that got you up to being almost 700 pounds. Does that sound like it makes much sense to you? Because it's not making much sense to me. So part of the problem is that you're used to lying about your eating habits. But the scale doesn't lie, so you shouldn't either. This isn't gonna work if you're not honest with me. Got it? So do you think you're capable of being honest about these things?
Absolutely.
That wasn't all, as a major theme of our episode was the constant drama with her boyfriend, Christian. During follow-ups, Maya repeatedly tried to argue that her lack of progress was due to Christian not being supportive enough.
It's just been a really hard time. Christian and I have been fighting a lot, and getting down here, driving, was just really stressful. But I've been trying to eat as healthy as I can.
An excuse which left viewers frustrated, with one commenting, "She is still a terrible, spoiled, rotten child in an adult body." This frustration only grew when Christian himself refused to answer Dr. Now's questions, triggering a heated argument right in the office.
He's here.
I'd rather hear from him. You don't want to answer my question, huh? All right, it looked like you both have a lot to figure out if you're gonna get back on track, Maya. And I suggest you two take this far more seriously.
This is your fault.
Oh, you haven't lost that much. Yeah.
Because of the stress of you treating me like this. Doctor Now asked you a simple question.
I've answered questions in the past. I could take a day off.
I hate you. I
hate you for doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions?
Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything!
No.
Damn it, Christian, stop. Stop.
I'll answer questions on another day, but I just
No.
think I have the right to know.
No, you do not have the right when it comes to my life. Mom, Christian's everything up at the doctor's office.
I'm gonna stop it up.
No, Mom, please.
No.
Please talk to my mom. Look, Christian, Mom, put it on, it's on speakerphone. Do not hang up on my mom.
True to form, Dr. Now shut down the drama and refused to let her use the relationship as a justification for failure and forcefully refocused her on her own choices.
Well, I understand things are hard, but if you use that as an excuse to overeat, then you're never gonna lose weight because life gets hard. So as sympathetic as I am to that, it's still no excuse. So at this time, I'm canceling your weight loss surgery. But if you want to show me that you're not going to make it...
When Maya and Christian's relationship ended, she used their breakup as a frequent excuse to abandon the diet plan given by Dr. Now, a justification Dr. Now shut down every single time.
You managed to gain 5 pounds this past month. So what happened?
Well, I've been emotionally eating. Well, I wanted to feel better, so I went to sushi, and I went to pizza, and I went to pasta.
So did food fix your situation? No. So what's the point going back to what you know is hurting you when you have an opportunity to turn your life around?
There was none.
I know it's not easy to just say no to your old habits. You can call us if you need our help, and we'll give it to you.
Okay.
You also have an option to make a choice that doesn't damage your health. So none of this is an acceptable excuse.
I'm sorry.
Ultimately, he cut through the cycle of blame by advising her to seek therapy.
Then I will give you one more chance, and I'm gonna set you up to see a therapy, okay? To see if they can help you. Psychotherapy isn't gonna take away all the pain and struggle of what you're going through right now. But if you tell me the truth and you're truly ready to change, then they can start to give you the tools to help you find healthier ways to cope. This is a process you're going to need to do anyway, but we'll start it now and see how you do.
And issuing a firm ultimatum.
But if you don't start making the progress you need after this, then I'll know that you weren't really telling me the truth about wanting to change. You understand?
Yeah.
So this is your last chance, and your goal is still the same. Lose 50 pounds over the next month if you want to show me you're serious and ready to do this again. You have to decide if this is worth your life or not.
Okay.
If you need anything or you're struggling, call me, okay?
Dr. Now frequently confronted Maya's excuses, refusing to accept her drama as valid reasons for failure, and he applied the same firmness to Robert, whose excuses and struggles went beyond weight to inner demons that ended in tragedy. From the very first consultation at over 842 pounds, the stakes were terrifyingly high. Robert arrived with a severe health crisis and total dependence on his fiancée.
I just have to get you back in the wheelchair to take you to it.
Then, after his lymphedema surgery, the biggest hurdle emerged when a dependency on pain medication began to derail everything.
Your arm. Lift your arm up.
We had Robert on minimal painkillers, and he wasn't happy with the limits we put on him. And once we started to take him completely off, he got so upset that he tore his sutures open just so he could get them again. So we fixed his sutures and...
causing Robert to become uncooperative, irritable, and refuse to walk or do physical therapy.
Because he's claiming he is in too much pain to continue to walk. But it is extremely important that he gets back to walking again.
Which led to a big argument between them while Dr. Now shut down these refusals bluntly.
Something for pain before we go?
Robert, let me ask you a couple of questions. How long you been on Dilaudid? You're not in pain, but this medication is making you to feel like you're in pain. So we got you off of this medication and we're not letting you back on. You understand that?
Right.
Okay. So with this operation, what I'm telling you, nobody has pain this far out. And you're not an exception. So you have no need for pain medication right now.
I get to be, I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and be addicted to it, but I am in pain now. I mean, I am.
In reality, you're not. But the addiction is causing you to feel that you're in pain. But you can't give in to it, or it will never stop.
He pointedly refused to accept Robert's use of pain or withdrawal as a valid reason to halt his recovery, and repeatedly had to confront Robert's outright refusal to engage in physical therapy.
Getting up freely on my own. It's not, this is more of a leg problem, not me wanting to do this problem.
Just stop with the excuses and get out of this bed.
See, I fully understand what you mean. The only thing is that my leg is not letting me do it.
He bluntly shut down every complaint and attempt to shift blame, insisting that Robert was actively self-sabotaging his only chance of survival. The conflict deepened into the realm of emotional manipulation when Robert became angry, withdrawn, and lashed out at his fiancée for not comforting him enough.
After his surgery, he was in a fairly good mood. In the first few days, he was normal Rob, and then it's like somebody flipped a switch, and he has been a nasty person since then. It's been very difficult being near him. I stay with him almost every night, and he told me one night that I don't do anything for him. So it's been hard. And he still feels like...
This behavior angered the audience, with one commenting, "I don't have any compassion for these people. They did it to themselves." And after returning from rehabilitation, Robert stopped physical therapy and refused to cooperate without pain medication. So Dr. Now called it out in direct, unflinching terms, making it clear his program would not cater to this behavior.
So with Robert refusing to get up, we can no longer justify keeping him here any longer. And we are arranging to transport him to a long-term care facility. It is unfortunate that we have to send you there, but you've been here too long and you aren't doing what you need, and that has to change, okay?
Yeah.
You don't sound very sure.
No.
In his final weeks, Robert spiraled deeper into addiction and emotional withdrawal, consistently missing therapy goals and refusing the plan.
If you continue to refuse to do what you need, your situation is going to start to get worse again, Robert. I don't think you want that. I don't want to see that happen. And I know Catherine doesn't want to see that happen. So your new facility is going to be your last chance.
Well, only when somebody followed me with a wheelchair.
But you were walking.
Yes, but I was never getting up freely on my own. It's not, this is more of a leg problem.
Yeah, I can't get up. I can't get up. Well, you can. So your excuses are over. They're done.
All right, just to reiterate real quick.
Unfortunately, this behavior ended in tragedy as Robert passed away before completing his journey. After confronting the life or death consequences of Robert's painkiller addiction, Dr. Now's next challenge was William Kiefer, whose journey on My 600-Pound Life was defined by a relentless cycle of empty promises and constant clashes with him.
I wasn't just constantly gorging myself with food.
I don't believe you. I don't think she believes you either.
All I hear is excuses.
First and foremost, there was a complete failure to meet any of the medical goals, and the most glaring example was his weight loss or lack thereof. He managed to lose only 4 pounds a month over the course of 3 months, which was a world away from Dr. Now's initial demand of losing 70 pounds in just 2 months.
At my last appointment, I was 592, and I was supposed to lose 70 pounds today, which means I should be down to 522.
This massive lack of progress set the stage for every single one of their arguments.
I work at a fast food place now.
So you now work with fast food, and you lost the whole 12 pounds in 3 months, which will be 4 pounds a month. So we give you the diet to follow, and you're trying to figure out another way to lose weight. So what is your objective coming here? What do you want us to do? Make you lose weight magically? So what are you gonna do now?
No, I mean, I don't know, like, I just try to follow the diet a little bit stricter, a little bit better.
A little bit is not gonna work. Try to do better is just fear of speech. You think I'm gonna buy that, you're doing okay, and pat you in the back and say, do a little better, cut a little bit more soda, you're gonna be okay. So Mom gave him 3 months ago. That didn't translate on any changes that is meaningful. So why assume that this time he will go and do it?
I have no idea, Dr. Now.
This led directly to the core of their problem, which was William's constant excuses and a cycle of rationalizations about food, motivation, or why he simply couldn't follow the program.
Unless maybe it's the soda pop I've been drinking. I cut back with pretty much everything except for that, because that's the hardest thing to give up. I don't drink it at home anymore, but I mean, at work, it's right there. But maybe it's not the right job for me to have after all, because there's a lot of temptation there. If I've gained weight, then it makes no sense. I haven't fully given that up. I need to just give that up. So, I mean, I know that's part of it, but I'm also looking at other ideas for lunches so that way I can kind of help with the weight loss as well.
Which kept viewers annoyed as one of them commented, "This guy's denial was mind-boggling." However, Dr. Now made a point to directly and bluntly shut down every single one of these excuses, refusing to let William hide behind them.
You're killing yourself with food and playing games. And if that is how you're gonna approach this, then we're done with you. There's nothing I can do for you. Okay, if you lost 12 pounds in 3 months and you think that's a victory lap. 12 pounds is nothing. You should have lost that in 1 week.
Yes, I didn't follow the diet to a T, but I did change little things to where I wasn't just constantly gorging myself with food.
You expect me to believe that? If you did that, why in the world you only lost 12 pounds in 3 months?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not somebody inside my body.
Every time he would even consistently try to redirect the blame or downplay his terrible results.
I don't care if it's what anybody wants me to lose or if it's 5, 10 pounds. I'm still looking at it as any weight loss is good weight loss.
But it didn't end there. Dr. Now would openly accuse him of lying and not being honest about what he was really eating, often repeating his famous mantra.
You can say whatever you want. The scale doesn't lie. You know, you keep repeating, I made the changes, I made only 1 time a day. Argue that with the scale. Don't kid yourself. Don't bother come back next time if you haven't lost any weight.
Which effectively ended any argument William tried to start. And their discussions would get particularly heated when William tried to defend his poor diet choices or blame external factors, something which was criticized heavily by the viewers. So, he's saying he's addicted to food and works at a fast food place. Isn't that like an alcoholic working at a bar? Dr. Now refused to accept any of this, shutting him down constantly, which culminated in Dr. Now making therapy a non-negotiable condition before any further progress could even be discussed.
First thing I would say will be opportunity if we work somewhere else instead of being a kid in a candy store.
And that's kind of my next steps, actually. I'm serious about what I'm saying and just prove everybody wrong that, hey, look, I realize my mistakes and I'm changing them.
Let me put that in the right perspective for you. In the past 6 months, you have managed to gain 6 pounds instead of losing 150 pounds. So you're still eating everything you want. And you know that's why you gain. So don't give me more stories. No matter what you say, you're gonna do the same thing. And you're gonna gain more and more, and pretty soon you won't be able to walk. Now you can't drive, then you won't be able to walk, then you get in bed, then you'll be bedridden, and at that point, you will get people you manipulate to bring the food for you. You're gonna gain more weight, and then that'll be it. Your body is gonna give out. Then you're overeating, and you keep saying, oh, I'm doing good, I'm gonna change. Now I'm awake, now I know what to do.
There's no way you're putting in 1,200 calories. You're at least 5,000 calories a day, at least.
Well, he doesn't want to listen to anyone. And he thinks he can keep convincing us of his lies. But we don't believe him, and I bet you don't believe it either. You tell people lies so people get it off your case to protect your eating habit. So I'm going to give you one last chance. And if we set up therapy, would you go to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but if you don't come back here in 2 months with some significant weight loss, then I don't see what more we can do for you.
Even after all of this, in the end, William failed every single goal and extension given to him, making Dr. Now conclude his treatment.
The bottom line is, in 10 months, you only lost 4 pounds. At this point, there's not much we can do for you unless you take control of your eating habit.
The decision was final and delivered straight, pointing to William's repeated arguments and outright unwillingness to follow the program, completely closing the door on any further debate.
I'm going to realize now to change and all that is really mean nothing unless you put your action to it and make the changes that you need to change your life.
Where William approached Dr. Now with an outright argument, Kene took a more sympathetic approach, but his firm response remained the same, making her season memorable for the direct confrontations that viewers still discuss. Her journey opened with a now iconic moment at her initial weigh-in of 614 pounds.
The last time I weighed, I was 613, and I'm so afraid that it's going to be a lot more than what it was. I don't want Rodney to see it. I really don't want to see it.
Where she tried to preemptively argue that the doctor's goals were unrealistic.
But the goal I'm giving you is to lose 75 pounds in 2 months, okay?
Is that feasible to lose?
And Dr. Now instantly cut her off with his signature bluntness.
If you are 100% with the program, you're going to be able to lose 100 pounds in 1 month, okay?
Yes, sir.
This immediately dismissed her protest and set a no-nonsense tone for their entire relationship, and the viewer reaction to this was huge. Many found the moment instantly meme-worthy. However, this pattern of deflection and shutdown continued in every follow-up.
What you want is somebody to do the work for you. So if you expect us to magically make you lose weight, it's not going to happen.
Stop it. Stop.
What is with this attitude giving me that you're upset because I tell you you're not following the diet?
No, I am upset because you made the assumption that I was not following the diet, but you don't know that. You don't know that. I didn't lose 100 pounds in a month because that's not feasible.
So don't give me attitude, okay? We're here to help you out.
Kene repeatedly turned to deep emotional explanations to explain why she had fallen short of her targets. Dr. Now would listen, but he never let the emotion become an excuse. His response was consistently firm.
We're not here to pick on you. We're here to guide you on the right channel and give you the reality the way it is.
Correct.
Okay?
Making it abundantly clear that emotional pain, while real, wouldn't make him soften the rules. And this dynamic reached its peak in one appointment, where Kene delivered a long, tearful monologue about all the obstacles in her life.
Okay, that's not motivation
wait,
for you.
Please wait, because I did make the changes, and my diet is different. And then I felt good about myself. I made changes where I can now leave my house independently. I don't need anyone to my car.
Whereas the audiences at home widely mocked this moment. That monologue was truly something. She was aiming for an Academy Award. Beyond the emotional appeals, Kene often tried to negotiate, protesting the diet's extreme difficulty.
I didn't lose 100 pounds in a month because that's not feasible, because it's not healthy. And as a doctor, you know that that's not healthy.
But Dr. Now never budged an inch, and his position was an unwavering ultimatum.
Hold on. Who in word told you that it's not healthy to lose 100 pounds a month? At your weight, it's unhealthy to keep that much weight on you. So don't give me attitude, okay?
As he never let her complaints slide, ending every bit of pushback with that clear, non-negotiable condition. And when emotional reasoning and complaints about difficulty failed, she pivoted to blaming specific health issues like her heart for her lack of progress.
I also had to find a way to fit in physical exercise. exercises that I was not able to do because it hurt. Because my legs go numb and I lose the feeling in my legs and my knees hurt. They hurt because I was 600 pounds.
Dr. Now shut these conversations down and refused to let her pivot from the necessary actions to another excuse.
We have given you help. This is the choice you need to make to take responsibility for your situation. I'm asking you to do the diet for 2 months to show me that, and everybody can buckle down and follow the diet for a few months. And if you don't do that, the reality is you don't want help.
Emphasizing that strict adherence was her only path to survival. After cutting through Kanae's emotional justifications, Dr. Now had to deal with Gina Crassley, whose boredom eating claims were shut down with the same blunt honesty. Her journey began with an immediate and stark reality check. After arriving at Dr. Now's office, she was surprised that she was over 600 pounds.
That's not the worst number I imagined it to be, but it's still shocking to see a number like that.
When she offered emotional justifications for her eating, Dr. Now cut straight to the core of the issue.
What drives you to snack? Are you hungry, or you habit, or nervous,
Bored.
or what?
Just bored. Like,
Boredom.
yeah.
So I assume that you're not working.
No, I don't work.
After which, Gina admitted she relied on her wife, Beth, to bring her food. Dr. Now turned this blunt assessment on their entire dynamic.
Okay, so you work all day and bring home food and pay for her to eat all day at home.
Yes.
His first move was a stern warning to both of them to stop enabling each other and start a strict diet.
Over the next 2 months, I want you to lose 50 pounds. You think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope so. So that means, Beth, you stop feeding Gina as well as her whole family.
Okay.
And Gina, you start making your own meal and stop pushing Beth to get you food.
Okay.
Many fans felt this was the wake-up call Gina needed and highlighted her lack of personal responsibility. The common theme that I see is that they all think there's some magical way to fix their weight without putting in any effort. Eventually, the pattern of failure started almost immediately. At her first official weigh-in after 2 months, Gina had not only failed to lose weight, but had actually gained 8 pounds.
I can't see how that's right. I just don't see how I gained. Not with how hard I worked.
As her reaction was one of disbelief, she insisted that she had given up a lot. Dr. Now, however, instantly interrupted this narrative, stating the simple yet brutal truth.
The reality is you didn't want to change your eating habits, so you didn't. It's as simple as that.
And when she tried to blame her environment, he fired back with a question that left no room for excuse.
I want to. I feel like I needed the change to move here.
What do you mean you want to?
What followed was a series of extensions that tested Dr. Now's patience.
Let me ask you this. Do you value your life?
Yes.
So you're here because you need help. You asked me how you can be part of my program. I told you what you needed to do, but you still didn't do it.
Despite visible frustration, he gave Gina multiple additional chances and refused to change the program or lower his standards, no matter how many times she failed. But a central part of the struggle was his continued confrontation of her toxic dynamic with Beth.
But the primary dysfunction at home is with you and Beth. So you two still have a lot of work to do to address that before your home situation is going to improve. He's overweight and you're overweight extremely. And I got news for you two. You're both enabling each other, okay? And this is a bad dynamic you got between you two. And the whole relationship that you got is focused around food. So you may have moved away from your family to get out of that environment.
He made it clear that Gina had to become independent and address these destructive patterns if she ever hoped to qualify for surgery.
You haven't done anything to qualify to be in my program, okay? And if you don't follow my diet and make any of the real changes you need, and you don't lose 58 pounds in the next 2 months, you need to go back to New Jersey. Okay?
Okay.
Because there is no point in either of us wasting time if you're just going to wait around for someone else to do the hard work for you.
The audience felt she got more chances than most. It expressed frustration with Gina's consistent excuse-making. She wouldn't even try, so I don't feel sorry for her.
At some point, you have to take accountability for yourself. Throughout the entire episode, this was the recurring theme, and Gina resisting substantial change.
If I have a meal, like the healthy meal, then if I didn't finish it, I will snack on that. If I'm hungry, I'll go back to that meal that I didn't finish and I'll finish it. That's what,
Really?
Yeah.
And in response, Dr. Now remained calm but firm, shutting down every attempt at self-pity or victimhood, and restating that only strict, actionable effort would save her life.
It doesn't matter what you say, it matters what you do. It doesn't matter what the figure of speech. It's the action. And that action is not moving now to Houston. The action is you value your life, so you make the choice to change that before it's too late. Why haven't you done it already?
I don't know. I don't know what to say because it's true.
Did you feel like this was something wrong with doing that or not?
No, absolutely. I don't think that was right, and I know that that was wrong, and yeah, I don't know.
They're just in denial of your reading.
That's true. I think I need to really try harder, or I don't know.
That's what you're telling me every time. Every time you come in and give me the same story and you're not losing weight.
Viewers were utterly frustrated by her evasion and questioning if she ever was genuinely ready to change. Her attitude is horrible. She loves being the way she is, so she doesn't need to do anything. If Gina tested Dr. Now's patience with excuses, Joyce Del Vescovo challenged it with drama, which ended her journey in failure. Her episode is consistently ranked among the most infuriating for viewers, serving as a masterclass in deflection and a total rejection of personal accountability, which led to some of Dr. Now's sharpest and most unforgiving shutdowns. Beginning her journey at a staggering 758 pounds, she required a medical transport just to get to the office.
I got the call last night from Dr. Now that a medical transport will be here to pick me up at 5 a.m. today to take me all the way to Houston.
And right from the start, her attitude was confrontational when Dr. Now laid out the calorie-controlled diet plan.
And I don't think Dr. Now understands that and just how much this is for me. But I don't know if I can do a whole lot more.
However, Dr. Now instantly interrupted this narrative, stating a core truth and making it immediately clear that her defiance was not a valid strategy.
So you realize that your functional capacity is very, very low and you're in a very dangerous situation. So this is a matter of life and death for you and you're running out of time.
Yeah.
That she's willing to do what she needs to turn her situation around. And until I start to see some change with that, it is too dangerous to send her to be back on her own.
Many fans who believed she would succeed were disappointed, saying, "At the beginning of her episode, I thought, this is cool. She seems really motivated for help. And then the next thing I know, she won't leave the damn house without an ambulance." And with time, this denial became her trademark as she blamed Dr. Now's calorie plan, skipped appointments, and even claimed his program was the problem.
I've had some transportation issues, as you know. So I've been trying to figure out how to get there. I did look into an ambulance, but it was just too expensive for me to afford to go that way.
Well, Joyce, you should have lost enough weight that today you should be able to walk as much as you need to the clinic and come and see us. But that's not happening. So
I am still following the calories, but I think I'm gonna have to take in a lot less calories than 1,200 to make any difference.
you're eating too much. You're eating 5 to 6 times what you should be right now. And that food is more important than saving your life.
No, it's not. It's just, it's been a struggle for me. It's easier for me to sit up than it was when I left the hospital. So I know I'm making progress, but I may not have lost the amount of weight that I should be losing. But that's because I think the diet is wrong, and 1,200 calories is still too much for me. Struggle for me to figure out how many calories I need to get it off faster. I mean, all home cooked, low fat, low carb, high protein food.
If it's low fat, low carb, by now you should have lost something, but that's clearly not the case because you look like you have gained.
No, that's not true. I have lost weight. So I'm not failing the program. The program's failing me. How is that my fault? I know I've made progress and I'm doing better because I can feel it.
But he replied with cold clarity when Joyce staged a dramatic slump at his office, pretending to have a medical episode.
All I know is something's wrong with my heart, and my weight has been on my knees, so it's making my feet and my legs fall asleep, and it hurts so bad, and I need to lay down before I pass out. I mean, I just don't. I don't have the ability to walk. Like, I'm very dizzy, and I think I'm having a heart attack.
You don't look like you are.
Dr. Now responded with dry, unimpressed sarcasm.
Now you do. You want to go in the hospital?
Yes.
And there are no immediate medical issues with her that we need to address. So she's fine. And she likely made this all up to get out of an uncomfortable situation she didn't want to be in and to get the medical transport she wanted. So you're not having a heart attack or dying.
Okay, well, I'm very relieved.
Well, I think you already knew everything was fine.
Completely refusing to put up with her drama. As her total lack of progress continued, Dr. Now's warnings evolved into final ultimatums.
So if you want to move ahead, I'm giving you the same ultimatum as the last time. For every month that passes from here, you need to lose 50 pounds. But if you don't come back in 3 months, you're done. So you need to be walking on your own too. So we will keep sending PT to you and provide psychotherapy. But at this point, you're on your own because we're giving you every tool and every opportunity, and there's not much more I can do for you. After a year of trying, you haven't lost anything. So at this point, it's clear you don't really want to do this.
But the result was that she regained 58 pounds and continued to blame friends and circumstances, making Dr. Now deliver his final sobering reminder.
I just don't think you understand how hard this has been for me, and that I've been working really, really hard at it.
And she ultimately quit the program before her year was up, leaving under his stern and unbending judgment.
You know, I've given 100% of me to this program since the beginning.
Many found her episode frustrating, and viewers expressed their utter disbelief at her lack of self-awareness and her manipulation of everyone around her. She was infuriating to me. That woman had no desire to change, and I'm 100% convinced this will kill her eventually. Whenever she was forced to confront this dynamic, Joyce's solution wasn't to change, but was to simply give up and return to Kansas, closing her story with absolutely no real transformation.
Still not able to walk as much as Dr. Now wants, or get in a taxi or a regular vehicle. And the 3-month deadline he gave me to come back with the progress he wanted was today.
Audiences felt little to no sympathy for Joyce, with one commenting, "There's almost no way to feel sorry for Joyce, because she clearly is manipulating the people around her and thinks Dr. Now will be just as easy to manipulate.